Welcome to The 15th Floor, a Radiohead reaction podcast where a Gen X father tries to convince his Gen Z son that Radiohead is the greatest band of all time by introducing him to Radiohead music one song at a time. Jacob reacts for the first time. I react for the zillionth time. We're going to go back to The Smile. It's been a while since we've done a song from The Smile, and we've only done two, and so we're excited to get back to that. Before we do that, I've got to say, both of us are not feeling great.
No.
You can already hear it in my voice. I've been sick for the past week. I'm just getting over it now. You're starting to get sick as we go into the holiday.
Oh, I'm starting to get sick. I was hoping this would be the end.
Oh. I have to. I think because we did the Tame Impala reaction, and I'm pretty sure that I'm more inclined to just like music. And I'm not saying you. That doesn't sound good. It makes it sound like you don't like music. But I listen wanting to be entertained. You listen wanting it to be real special. There's a difference between being critical, like being a critic, and just being, reacting. Being critical is you're actually trying to, they might have done something better here. I'm going to pick this apart a little bit. You think of, you don't know who Siskel and Ebert are, but they used to have their own columns in the paper where they reviewed movies back in the day when reviewing movies was a big deal, and only a few people did it instead of everybody on YouTube. And their show, TV show, was just them sitting in a theater balcony, picking apart movies, mostly being fairly critical, but also being very praiseworthy. But it had to cross a certain threshold. A thumbs up versus a thumbs down. And if it was a thumbs down, they'd give you all the reasons why it was a big stinker. I think you listen to music a little bit like that. Like, if this doesn't really get to me, entertain me. I don't know, maybe not.
I guess I don't really give music a chance. I like it or I don't. Like I don't find
that's
that,
right.
I don't find that middle area.
That's right. I'm listening the whole time looking to enjoy it, which is why I think like something like Tame Impala, which came across, and of course that was also a bit of a genre thing. It was kind of a psychedelic sound, which I like anyway, and you've never been into any psychedelic sound because you're young and you shouldn't be psychedelic anything.
Not sure.
What Thin Thing, which is the song we're going to react to today, was really one of the most requested from The Smile initially. We did the other ones first because they just happen to have more, I think. And but Thin Thing is the one that comes out the most, and it's the one that kind of sticks in my mind. I will say sticks in my mind because then the people are going to think he's into it. For those of you who have not seen The Smile reaction from the 15th Floor before, I'm a lifelong Radiohead fan, which means I absolutely love everything Radiohead. I don't think they make mistakes. It's kind of what this channel is about. I think even when they're not at their peak, they're still better than everybody else. And I think they are they're just in a different stratosphere than most musicians, even really, really good musicians who sometimes really nail good songs. I think Radiohead does it all the time. But I have not listened to The Smile because we were already getting ready to do. We were already doing this channel when these songs came out, and it sounded like I thought it would be funner to kind of hold off and listen to them. As you can imagine, it's very painful to sit back and not listen to the work of Tom York and Johnny Greenwood because I'm holding off. But I do it for you, and I do it for you.
Thank you.
Jacob, on the other hand, is just being introduced to Radiohead one song at a time, and so The Smile might as well just be another song to you, right? Yep. Okay, so we don't know anything about this song. I'm really excited. Jacob's really excited. Let's listen to Thin Thing.
From
it sounds like we're getting into something here, which is probably good because so far it has been weird, to say the least. It sounds like it does sound like they were using the limitations of the soundboard on an Atari 2600 to create, and then added some interesting rhythms. So we'll see where it goes, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I like that guitar. It was a nice funky guitar there.
That yeah, unique sound.
I felt like that little whistle was a unique and kind of cool way to move in. Okay, we're here, but now we're transitioning.
Going in another direction.
Yeah.
I see 70s Sid and Marty Krofft cartoons with warp speed coming by you. I don't know.
Because it's repeating that guitar, and I'm now realizing that the song isn't doing a whole lot. I don't know.
I liked the second and now the third part. The first part was a little all over the place to me. The second part got me into it a little bit more, and the third part was a little. And I don't need the Smile to sound like Radiohead, other than the obvious vocals of Tom York. But to me, I suddenly felt at home. You know, if you go to a strange place, like a party where you don't really know a lot of people, and then you see somebody that you're vaguely familiar with, like kind of barely from something, and you're like, oh, somebody I know. And you're like, I don't really know this person. But you just feel at home seeing that person.
That is a good example, but I don't think I've ever felt that.
Oh, all that to say that it's found a home. Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, this is something Radiohead-ish.
This
I am not a lyrical gangsta. I can't hear a song for the first time and say, oh, when he was saying this. I do have to hear a song a few times to like kind of wrap my head around the lyrics. The first time I ever hear anything, I hear it as one sound. And so I never really stop to focus and say, what is he talking about? I said to you that it was a sound of the late 70s, early 80s, the early electronics of that time. Not the sound of music of that time, but a sound of that time. You could put it on in the background of an early 80s movie, maybe even about skateboarding, and it would be like, it would kind of have a home there. But your attention span for music is 3 minutes long.
Yeah. It's just...
And I'm not picking on you, but every time you see a song that's like 3.5 to 4 minutes or 5 minutes, you're like, oh, this is a long song.
When it's like 4.5 minutes, it's like, okay.
Yeah, this is 4.5.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, it felt long because the guitar had that little same thing. Yep. I mean, I did like how, like, it kind of like made me pay attention again when the guitar changed.
Yeah, yeah.
I always feel like, I said this early on, but like the guitar, I feel like the guitar is a very important part of a song.
Right.
And it kind of sets the mood. I don't know. I felt like it was cool how they actually did something different with the guitar.
But by the end of the 4.5 minute song, it had done what it was going to do to me. What do you give Thin Thing?
I give it a 7. I felt like it was a pretty funky song.
Yeah.
The guitar was nice.
Yeah.
And besides the guitar, it's probably just because of the vocals, but it sounded like any other Radiohead.
Yeah, come on. It doesn't sound like any other radio. You make that sound like it's Air Supply, and they're just the same every single time. Yeah, but if I played that song for you and said it was a Radiohead song, you wouldn't be like, what is this?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can hear Tom's very distinctive voice, very distinctive instrumentation, and very distinctive rhythm and beat. That's no one else does that sort of thing. And I think that's my high point of this song. I don't know enough about, synthesizers and the different processors that they use, the different modifiers that they use, and modulators that they use. I don't know enough about that, and I don't really care to. I like the 5-piece band that they've always been. I love when they utilize those things to get a unique sound. But I don't know that I need a whole song of unique sound. Now, that being said, Idioteque is one of my favorite songs, and that's 100% coming through Johnny. And not 100%, but give me a little leeway. It's hard for me on first listen to give it anything more than that, a 7. I don't know that I would of the 3 the Smile songs we've heard so far, this one has had the least positive impression to me. But a positive impression, but probably because I'm so at home in the Radiohead sound, or even the Smile sound. So, to get in my mind a little bit, I listened to Pablo Honey. The first time I listened to Pablo Honey, the first time I listened to The Bends, and the first time I listened to OK Computer, the first time I listened to A Moon-Shaped Pool, and the first time I listened to Hail to the Thief, those were all very easy to digest for me. Probably in Rainbows. Of course in Rainbows too. Kid A was tough because it was just such a departure. Amnesiac was tough because it was even a further step in a different direction. And King of Limbs was a clearly different sound. So the first time I listened to those, I might not have come out of Amnesiac and say, that was amazing to me. That was Radiohead at its finest. Some of those songs I had to listen to repeatedly before I grasped more about it. But I was always looking forward to the job of listening to it more. This one, I've heard it, and I'll listen to it the next time I'm listening to this album after we react to all the songs, but it might not be the hit on the album for me. That being said, it'll probably be my favorite song by the time I listen all the way through for the third time. I'll be like, man, Thin Thing, that's my song. But it's interesting. Every time I get... when I look at what songs people recommend by Radiohead, and I know all of those songs, and I always try to kind of tease out, okay, if this person's saying, let's do Blowout, well, then I kind of have a mindset of what that person likes and dislikes. They might not like a lot of anything else on Pablo Honey. I love Blowout, but I like a lot of other things on Pablo Honey more. if some, same kind of thing. If someone says they like spinning plates, okay, I get that. I absolutely do. But I think there are better songs on Amnesiac, or certain ones that you would react better to. That being said, we're gonna do like spinning plates, and you're just gonna gobble it up. So, I think some Radiohead fans might be a little disappointed in my less than enthusiastic reaction to that song, but not a negative one. Just that my least exciting of the three we've heard from that album. Now, where do we go next for the Smile? What you've heard my reactions? I don't know. Do you remember the other ones enough to know where the? Okay, no. Yeah, this one is probably number 3 of the 3 we've done. So. I don't know. Take us to where we should go next. Tell me something about Thin Thing that you really like. Point out something as if you're me trying to get Jacob to like a Radiohead song, and point out something that I might have missed or he might miss. That this is really a great part about this song. You guys do that a lot, even on songs that I know and love, and I really like the stuff you point out. And so it helps me appreciate songs I already love. Let's see what it does for a song that I'm still learning to like. It was a lot. It was a lot going on, and it was a Jackson Pollock. So it's going to take me a while to look at it and see what I think. And some of you might just say Jackson Pollock is crap anyway. So like, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Even if you never watch another one of our videos, subscribe. It's fun. I don't know if it's fun, but I think there are a lot of people who subscribe and never watch another video again. So you can be one of those guys, or subscribe and watch all our videos and comment on them because we like that. Thank you for all your positivity. Thank you for being so good. Continue to love one another. Keep listening to music together. You're now leaving
the 15th floor.